and welcome to a new episode of Pilot Sessions. Today's episode takes us back to September 8th, 1997 for a comedy drama that premiered on Fox called Ally McBeal. Ally McBeal is the title character, and it really centers around her and the law firm. And though from afar it looks like it's a legal drama, it really centers around the romantic lives of those that work at this Boston law firm. So for me personally, I was in my late 20s. I was a couple years still away from moving to Los Angeles. I was in Minneapolis. And I just remember how, if you listen to morning shows, the so-called water cooler talk, pop culture, Ally McBeal was a hot show. It might even been hotter than it ever transpired into its TV ratings. I went back to look at a couple of reviews that were written about the Ally McBeal pilot, because I don't remember really anything about it. I remember David E. Kelley. I liked some of his shows. He was executive producer, writer in LA Law, which was like the late 80s, and I was like in high school, and that was like a hot show. I really liked that. And then in the early 90s, he created Doogie Howser, and he also created Picket Fences, and I watched both of those shows. But then with Ally McBeal, it kind of started where I really liked like the first season, maybe hung in season 2, and then I kind of faded off because the characters were so eccentric in that first season. It kind of felt like they were almost caricatures of themselves by the time I got to season 3 or 4. But I did find it interesting that some people called it, with a question mark, was it the Mary Tyler Moore of the 90s? Because it was female really in a male world, even though there were quite a number of females that also worked in the law firm. Well-known TV critic Tim Goodman, writing then for the San Francisco Examiner, called Ally McBeal the first great show of the season. And keep in mind, understand the timeline. This would be 2 years before The Sopranos, a year before Sex and the City. However, the first true great cable series, The Larry Sanders Show, was 2 months away from its season 4 premiere. Now, the crazy thing about David E. Kelley, he was married to Michelle Pfeiffer. In one of the articles I read, he had some roses, and it was said that he gave his wife flowers every day. So he really kind of drew on writing female characters. The interesting thing though is he had 2 shows that were on the air at the same time. Ally McBeal, which was premiering, and The Practice on ABC, different network, which was coming back for its second season. They ended up doing a crossover. Crossovers were big at the time, where they did an episode where the Practice characters came into the Ally McBeal world on Fox, and then some of the Ally McBeal characters went over into the Practice world that aired on ABC. I thought this was interesting. This was from The Variety, and it wrote about the prolific David E. Kelley strikes again with this deceptively clever piece of comedic drama that joins The X-Files and Party of Five in upping Fox's intellectual profile. They called it offbeat, engaging, and smartly written, and with a can't-miss lead in Broadway actress Clarissa Flockhart. It's interesting because, you know, this was before I moved to LA, probably wasn't reading the trades quite then. I totally forgot. I did not remember that Clarissa Flockhart was a Broadway star before Ally McBeal premiered. Keep in mind, the landscape, it was airing on Monday night, so it was alternative programming to Monday Night Football. It's interesting because at the time, Monday Night Football was the major package. NBC and Sunday Night Football didn't exist yet. It was ESPN and TNT that were rotating the schedule. It might have been all ESPN by 97, but they didn't have the games, and Monday Night Football was still the big deal. That's when you had Al Michaels and company. In 97, I'm not sure who was in the booth, but for a while, John Madden, before he went over to NBC after he left Fox, and CBS originally. The Variety mentioned that it called it 30-something meets Dream On, with a twist of LA Law tossed in. And it's interesting because, as I said, LA Law was really a hot show. David E. Kelley was a writer on it. 30-something really was a nice kind of dramedy about couples and kind of obviously in their early 30s. Dream On was an HBO series that used the vehicle. They had all these Universal old TV series and films, and the main character watched a lot of, it was plopped in front of the TV and grew up watching TV. It was kind of considered almost its parent. And whenever he would have thoughts, they would show it by cutting to one of these clips that there was no cost involved with it. Keep in mind, Ally McBeal was critically acclaimed the first couple of seasons. It won the Golden Globe for Best Television Series, Musical, or Comedy in 1998 and 1999. It also won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Comedy Series in 1999. Clarissa Flockhart was nominated many times, but she never won an Emmy. She did, however, win a Golden Globe. Also, I wasn't watching at the time, and I would be fascinated possibly to go back. I don't know if I watched the whole series, but the fourth season, Robert Downey Jr. was on it, and he ended up winning a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor. It's interesting because he ended up guest starring in a couple episodes of season 5 because he was in the midst of the turmoil of his drug addiction back in the late 90s. Variety ended its review by saying, Ally McBeal is the rare example of a broadcast network premiering a series that feels fresh and different, if occasionally contrived. As such, it deserves to live longer than the standard few weeks. Tech credits are swell. Also, it's interesting because Clarissa Flockhart, I remember part of the pop culture was that she lost a lot of weight in the later seasons, and there was some talks about how they would go on tight shots for her head because she had lost so much weight. I remember I had a friend who worked makeup on the show, and she did mention that one time, and I saw her in a restaurant, and I mean, she was much thinner in the later seasons. I also remember the unisex bathrooms, and a large reason I remember this because it was, a lot of people kind of talked about it, but I remember my parents visiting, took them to kind of a hip, posh restaurant, and the restrooms of the men and women were still separate, but it was unisex in the washroom when he came out. And my dad came running out of there because he thought he was in the female bathroom, which I still remember. The other thing I remember, which is just bizarre, was for a season, they had a show called Ally, and Ally was a recut of an Ally McBeal episode. It was stripped down to a half hour, and it was a sitcom, and it would follow McBeal's life and just none of the courtroom scenes, and then they added a laugh track. If it sounds weird, it probably was weird and remains weird, and it was they canceled it after just 12 episodes. I also remember music and the soundtrack being a big deal. They had like 5 different soundtracks. One was a Christmas, one was a best of, but like for 3 seasons they had a new soundtrack. They had a lot of scenes and dream sequences where the major characters would sing, and that stuff was included. I couldn't actually tell you what was all on the soundtrack. I am looking forward to seeing Fish, who is played by Gregory German. He is best known for Ally McBeal probably, but shortly before then, he played Eric Rico Moro on the Fox sitcom Ned and Stacy. Lisa Nicole Carson, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing her. She's probably best known for Ally McBeal and playing Renee Raddick, but she also played Carla in ER. She did have some problems and was missing for some seasons of the show. She was diagnosed with bipolar, which kind of, I guess, made people more understanding and what was going on with some of her behavior on the set. Drane Kirkowski, looking forward to seeing her. Courtney Thorne-Smith is another one. She was well known from Melrose Place. She played Allison Parker, and then plays Georgia Thomas here on Ally McBeal, so I'm looking forward to seeing her. The 2 other people I'm looking forward to seeing in this is Peter McNichol, who plays the very eccentric John Cage. He ended up winning an Emmy for Best Supporting Actor. And there's Gil Bellows, who just a couple years before Ally McBeal, he was in considered one of the greatest films of all time, The Shawshank Redemption. He was also involved in a storyline, won't give it away in case you decide to watch it, that would draw the largest audience for the culmination of that storyline would draw the largest audience for an episode of Ally McBeal at 17 million people, which would be huge today. Like I mentioned, even as popular as it was in season 1, it was the 59th most popular show that season. Ally McBeal, which is streaming on Hulu, and that's exactly where I'm going to watch the episode. She was very attractive.
I'm not sure how it all started.
Pretty witty in this one, I remember.
It was because I smelled his bottom. It wasn't that stupid. We saw dogs do it. That's how they knew for sure, so... It was the kiss.
I kind of have a flashback about this flashback scene, especially the smelling the bottoms and then the cutaway to the dogs doing it.
No, it was that first kiss. Which was so soft. The first time wasn't. I pinched a nerve in my neck.
If you have the wrong backseat.
Stayed broken up, but I just had to follow him to law school. I didn't even want to be a lawyer. I just no, it wasn't me. It was him.
It's Gil
He's
Bello.
the one who had to transfer to Michigan. Just like that. So you expect me to leave Harvard, give up my place on law review, so you can...
I don't expect it. I wouldn't even ask it.
The little curly hair for the flashbacks. Very shallow depth of field.
Well, I choose the law too, but I choose Boston.
I saw Gil Bello at a film festival probably around 2010. Boy, he looked so much older. He had the beard
So
going.
here I am, the victim of my own choices. And I'm just
About
starting.
13 years after this pilot. Okay, so we've established our first great love. Fonda Shepard. She's got a nice voice. So she was basically unheard of when Ally McBeal came on the air, and also she's getting these scenes where she gets to sing, and then the soundtrack and the theme song playing 112 times over those 112 episodes. Kelley was so big back then.
Love and law are the same. Romantic in concept, but the actual practice can give you a yeast infection.
Sleazy.
I thought it had to be my imagination. I mean, please. It was never that obvious. Till one night.
Hey, don't you ever do that again.
I apologize. I've Epstein's bar.
He got fired.
Wow,
The guy
Epstein
grabbed
comes
my
into
buttocks.
play
What?
before Jeffrey Epstein was even
I'll
known.
sue.
And he did. He claimed OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. The sickness being to squeeze butts.
Touch them.
He filed a claim under the Federal Disabilities Act. I'm saying the partners would rather be sued by you.
They got their wish.
Wow.
I remembered that
world.
fool for a client rule, so I retained independent counsel, filed a claim, and planned to go public. He started squeezing butts all over, as strategy. To do it in the open, he must have OCD. That was the thinking anyway.
He's a great character actor, the guy that's the sleazy sexual harasser.
You don't want to prove it. He's a rainmaker. You'd rather lose me than him.
I quit.
Ally McBeal!
Oh no.
Can't believe it.
Oh,
I
it's
haven't seen
Fish.
you forever.
Richard, how are you?
I'm outstanding. You look fabulous.
I know. I just got fired for it.
You what?
Working for you? With your philosophy of law?
Piles and piles of money. I mean, if I help somebody along the way, that's great, but mainly I'm in this for the piles, the heaps, the...
As luck would have it,
Leaves me to make law review, and now I'm signing up with somebody who
I love the juxtaposition between the first law firm that she just left and now this one, the hip, brick, loft style.
This is Elaine Bassel. She'll be your assistant.
Would you like a voice-activated dictaphone? It's in the budget. You don't have to decide now. And here's the man-made file.
Jane Krakowski.
Hey, Billy, come on in here for a second. I want you to meet somebody. Ally McBeal, Billy Allen Thomas. Billy was actually with us at Harvard first year before he transferred out.
We know each other.
You do? Oh my God. You two. Oh, I feel so stupid. You two were.
She's working here?
But yeah, is that a problem? Because if it
No,
is,
it's not to me.
No.
Is it to you?
Me? It's fine.
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 Everything's just groovy.
I have to go to the bathroom.
The boy I had my first kiss with, first tongues, college. Wow. There'll be a little jolt to the system.
Funny bounce of the ball, that's all.
There's our first. Yeah. Oh, now she's gonna be thrown up.
Richard, I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, well, unisex studies show it helps men and women employees breed familiarity. So long as they don't come in to just breed.
If you don't object, I have this lawsuit against Jack Billings, and I have a deposition scheduled
Say
for
no
Friday.
more. You can do it from here. We would be happy to lead the charge.
Great. Who's your best litigator?
Oh, that would be Billy.
Oh, that would figure.
Of course it would be.
'Cause, I mean, I don't know the whole story, but I sense that you'd like to grind up this guy's head and feed it through his intestines.
Something like that. Go with Billy. He's my man.
Okay, so she's her
I
roommate.
stopped caring about the guy 3 years ago.
That's why you're in here changing lip liner, wishing your breasts were bigger.
Out. Out.
I do wish my breasts were bigger. Not
Oh, it's
huge,
in the pilot
but
episode.
I'd look good less small.
This is pretty salacious for 1997 network television.
People like this, I imagine their heads growing when they speak. It could be me. I don't
Your
know.
initials on a few things before you leave today, so I'll be right back. Thank you.
You know, about 3 years for Alan McBeal, his first big thing on screen was Clear and Present Danger, that Harrison Ford action thriller.
You want to bankrupt somebody,
A small role, but
cost him everything he's worked for, make his wife leave him, even cause his kids
put him on the Hollywood map.
And we can do that.
Coffee?
Sure.
You don't know how many times I almost picked up the phone to call.
Yeah, well, you won't have to think about that now. We'll be passing each other in the hallway. Seeing anybody?
Actually,
He's engaged.
I'm married.
Oh, he's married.
Oh. How
Ain't
wonderful.
that swell?
Does that change your feelings about wanting to work here?
Do you have kids?
No. I'm sorry, you know. Well, believe it or not, I'm actually glad you're here.
Really?
Not as an ex-boyfriend, but as a lawyer who appreciates a talented addition to the firm.
Oh, arrows to the heart. By the way, that Richard Riley, the guy with the mustache, the sexual harassment guy, I was trying to figure out where I've seen him. He's been in so many things. 458 credits. TV, film. Some of them are producing other things, but 90% are acting. Also, he was in the running for Cliff Clavin on Cheers.
Men are like gum anyway. After you chew, they lose their flavor.
I remember that line about the gum.
I'm actually feeling good.
Sorry.
Hey, no, don't say you're sorry when you're not sorry. You didn't even look up to see who you bumped into. No, don't say you're sorry when you're not sorry. You with him?
I always get nervous walking in, but as soon as I take my feet, I'm fine. My father's a lawyer.
There's Baby Allie.
What he's asking for is censorship. There's no other word for it.
My client is an Episcopalian minister. He's depicted as a sex-crazed, depraved pervert.
Ms. McBeal, as a matter of law, you're 100% correct. The magazine has every constitutional right to publish the article. But I'm enjoining them from doing so anyway.
What?
Go to appeals. You'll no doubt get it overturned. It'll just cost you a little time and money, that's all.
Feels like today's world. Everything's in court. A little breezy in Boston today.
And Billy's married.
It's been really windy here lately. Oh, another man she runs into.
I'm not going to pretend, Allie. I am feeling some shock here.
I thought I argued well, Richard. The judge just seemed to have an agenda contrary to law.
I filed the appeal. I also brought up on the
Oh,
computer all
here
of our
comes her
First
big
Amendment
head.
briefs. This will head start you on your memorandum.
There's an effect that I can use in Premiere. Maybe I'll throw it on there called Funhouse. That's how you blow up a head.
focus on that. Can you brush up on your tax law?
I'll be brushed.
Trying to find the first name. I can't remember. It's Fish and Associates, but it's the name before that.
Angry feelings.
No, actually, Billy, the residual feeling was hope. I'm fine, Billy. I just have a slight problem adjusting to change. You ready?
Hi.
Oh, I didn't know Courtney Thorne-Smith played.
This is Ally McBeal. Ally?
I watched Melrose
my wife.
Place.
We met in law school. She was my editor.
You're a lawyer?
Don't ask me why.
Ooh. Yeah, if I remember, I think her and Allie will have some showdowns in court.
She seems nice.
And beautiful.
This is a memo
And blonde.
outlining the tax analysis done on Air National. You were hoping she was fat. And stupid. Maybe missing a couple of teeth.
Who wasn't? Or who wouldn't with an X? I mean, I surely wasn't.
No, Billy, you gotta give me something more. You gotta give me something more than that. You can't just leave me like that.
All right. She snores. And the roots aren't quite so blonde, okay?
No, something more.
The carpet doesn't match the drapes?
Left little toe, bunion.
Oh, the worst. Drop her like a hotcake.
Whenever I'm depressed, Renee makes me go dancing. I guess to cheer me up.
It's the club.
Look at this guy. If he did that in a hospital, they'd sedate him.
Oh, who doesn't like the Dancing Twins? They look like they're the two guys in the Dan Band. Who could that be knocking at the door? Uh-oh.
Georgia.
Little psycho music?
Long time.
I'm so sorry to intrude.
No,
May I stab you in the
that's okay.
shower?
Come on in.
Could I speak to you in private?
Sure.
Oh, here we go.
He said you two actually went on a few dates in high school.
A few.
Yeah. Yeah, we were buds. A few dates?
It's funny how you
Between the
understate
lines, I get
things
the
with an
idea
X,
that
'cause
you
you're
might
just-
still harbor some feelings toward Billy. My policy is just to be truthful about things.
Oh, well, I have no such policy. That was a joke. Nothing is gonna happen
You
between...
do still have feelings.
Oh,
I hadn't seen him in years.
it was more than a few dates. We were exclusive in high school, and
I suppose that you know, made love.
Georgia.
Georgia is gonna have a panic attack. Let's get her a paper bag to breathe in, please.
I'm sorry, but isn't this something that you should hear from him?
Yeah. In your office today, I picked up a vibe I've never felt before.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So picture.
That's just a memento.
I really hate you.
Hate you, too.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not just saying it?
No.
Never seen two people be so glee about hating each other. For those watching, what do you think of this pilot? And are you rewatching, or? And if you're younger, had you even heard of Ally McBeal? I better be.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You want to make this more about discovery or retaliation? Because I can't take it either way.
Fine.
Wow,
Whatever.
I think Georgia talked to him last night because he is coming in hot.
I'm trying to get some information on her cycle.
I'm curious to people that know Clarissa Flockhart if they know her from Brothers and Sisters. That was the ABC drama she did, Sally Fields and an ensemble cast. I think it's first year is like maybe 2008, 2009.
Right around the time she sued me.
There could have been the next Cliff Clavin.
Can we go off the record for a second?
Certainly.
It hurts to be a
Allow me to
sleazeball.
compose myself.
You having
At
fun?
least he didn't grab her by the...
Do I look intimidated to you?
You can't just sue somebody for being wrong, counsel. You have to show damages. Do they not teach that in law school these days? I'll assume you're blinded by the fact that you once slept with your client and that this isn't a true reflection of your professional talent.
Sometimes, Billy, you have to prove to the other side that you're a fighter. You're not
A
just
fighter
some
in control. A lawyer stays at his best when he's dispassionate.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm certainly in good hands here.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, forget it.
I'm a little shy when it comes to using a public bathroom. I can't imagine having to worry about a coworker that's opposite sex coming in. Good thing those never caught on, the unisex bathroom.
You should have told her the truth.
The truth?
The truth. Yes, the truth, that you loved me.
We didn't just have a couple dates there, David.
You loved me.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Uh-oh!
Richard.
I can wash my hands
the
later.
fish!
Okay.
Hey, I looked under those stall doors. You had your feet up.
Oh, I've got an L5 disc problem. My chiropractor advised that I said that.
Hey, it's lucky it was me and not somebody who's at all interested in other people's lives.
Smarmy.
You'll be there as estrogen. Their lead counsel's a woman. Fact is, she bats from the other side, and the other guy's a bit of a wolf. You know, in a pinch, I was hoping you could flirt with them both.
I beg your pardon?
Teamwork. It's what makes us.
It's too much.
Boy. I think we're still in the first week. It's very dramatic.
It's probably just stupid for me to work there.
So leave, Allie.
I can't leave, Renee. That would make me look weak.
Remember, Fox is about to premiere 90210 the following summer. You had all remember the Peach Pit? They get all those bands in the show. Then they do it with the OC. It really became a Fox thing.
But a sad, limp, little piece of fettuccine. And you can do better. So stop being in love with him.
Okay.
Deal?
Deal.
Wish it was that easy. Just turn the heart off. Heart wants what the heart wants.
Sometimes I wake up and I just know everything's gonna be
Pretty good pilot.
less bad.
Act
There is no
5.
suggestion. This magazine represents democracy.
They sell sex.
It may contain material that might seem vulgar, but so does Vanity Fair, Esquire, Vogue.
More sex. Sometimes I'm more persuasive when I lack conviction.
Nice. Oh, Allie. Why is he there, and why is the fish welcoming him like he's...
Private, Allie?
Oh, no, Richard. What's going on?
I just offered to double this man's salary if he'd come to work here.
Oh my God, you fucking kidding me?
Coming up with that OCD defense, being so brazen about it, I mean, he sort of represents everything I stand for.
Are you serious?
You won't go near her buttocks even during holidays. Huh?
I promise.
Are you on drugs?
I'm assuming he made the whole OCD thing up. I mean, you did, didn't you?
Completely, but you didn't hear that.
I didn't have to. Got it right here on tape.
Oh, boom, one for the fish.
The lawsuit continues on with this lovely little admission. It's not just winning, it's winning ugly that matters.
Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything? Jack?
Oh, David E. Kelley played us like a violin. Or a puppet. Guess you don't play a violin like this. You do it like this.
Thank you, Elaine.
Look, it was wrong for me to come. All I was trying to say was, well, I was admitting a difficulty you working here. I'm sure it'll get easier with time.
I hope you haven't barged in here to be nice again.
George, you remember Renee?
You think by striking up a friendship with Allie to serve as some kind of prophylactic to stop her from ever doing a hokey pokey again with Billy? Tell him.
No, you tell him. You seem to have it all figured out. I'll tell. Georgia is upset with Allie for telling Billy that she showed up at her apartment. Allie is upset with Billy for denying their past.
What's this?
And now Billy's upset.
Elaine.
Okay, look, there's a lot of personal stuff going
Boy,
on.
she should
Let's
do
all just take our
play-by-play.
lunch break and-
She's like a regular old Jim Nance.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Renee.
What?
Bygones.
It's my feeling that we exploit that mindset. Massachusetts,
Taxachusetts.
and particularly Boston, is very sensitive to being labeled the tax capital of the country.
The IRS goes after the airlines because of the money.
Oh, there
involved
she
with
is, the
it
little
isn't
girl in the
random.
conference room.
By admission, the airline industry is singled out. That's a form of de facto discrimination.
Feet dangling. She should feel big again after saying that.
Yes.
Ooh, nice juxtaposition cut to the smash cut to the champagne bottle pop corking.
We should welcome with a toast our new associate, who in 2 days has argued and won her case before the appeals court and has helped land the client we're all celebrating having landed.
To Allie.
Tally.
Way to go, McBeal. Those looks. Love the architecture outside. Have an office looking at that.
Allie.
Uh-oh.
This isn't gonna work, is it?
I like this firm.
Who's Billy Joel say, you could be wrong, you could be right?
Michigan in the first place.
I still love you, but I love the woman I'm married to.
Billy, I am not looking to go down that road again. I am just admitting a difficulty.
See you tomorrow?
Yep. Tomorrow. I have my health.
Yeah.
Oh, fish made it.
Up
You know, he's like a fish, so he slipped right in between those elevator doors.
Love, you can't bank on it. It's an unsafe bridge. The only thing you can really take to the bank, money.
Piles.
Oh, I've been looking for the boy, and I love to make one more. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you know? I'm having a great time and I don't even know it.
And scene. Fade to black. I thought, curious what your thoughts on the pilot, if you're seeing this for the first time, if you've heard of Ally McBeal but never had seen it, or just never even heard of the show. I have to say, if I had to work with one of my great early loves that I deemed that got away, I could not imagine having to work with her, especially in a environment like, legal office, where you're going to have to range of emotions, stressful deadlines, and constantly seeing each other. I thought they did a really good job of having the arc of the pilot and really opening up all these kind of storylines and getting to know some of the characters for the first season. McNichol, I'm not sure when he comes in to play. I thought he was involved with the pilot. I still think he comes in season 1. A lot of good shows will even introduce a character in episode 2, 3, or 4. But I think it holds up well. The one thing is, it's kind of interesting, is I'm kind of figuring out the workflow of shooting me watching shows. The first thing I said, there's some shows I really want to revisit, and this pilot sessions I think is going to be fun. Discovering, rediscovering pilots more so, because most of the pilots I'll probably have already seen. It won't be a first-time watch. But a lot of shows, it'll be, I watched the show, but I don't remember the pilot. And maybe, I missed the pilot if I watched it in syndication, because it's not like today where you can just start with episode 1 and go through. Like, Rockford Files we're going to do. I'm pretty sure once I watch it, I'll say, oh, I've seen the pilot, but I don't know what that pilot was. But the interesting thing is, I did not want to watch on a computer monitor. I have a 95-inch television, so I'm still trying to kind of figure that out. It's an extra step, but to me, I want to watch on the big screen. And LA Law, I had been watching, and they remastered, so you got it blown up to HD because you shot it on film. This is pillar box, but outside of that, it still looks good. You just got the 4x3 and the black pillar box. But I thought Ally McBeal, it's definitely got that more. Remember, this was a show that they were putting on Monday Night Football to compete against Monday Night Football on Monday nights. So this really had elements of, I think it would be a more popular show with, females versus males. But that said, I still liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought there was some funny things in there. And I remember Fish being one of my favorite characters, the one that made me laugh the most. And then I was really compelled by McNichol's character that comes in. He was one of, he was the only regular to win a Primetime Emmy, because the Golden Globes, Clarissa Flockhart won, Robert Downey Jr. won when he was a regular in season 4, and then Tracy Ullman won for best guest star performance in a comedy or musical. So I think it's a pretty good show. I'd probably give it a 7.2. I don't know what I would have given it back then because I don't really remember it, but I think it's a solid show. I don't think I would invest in rewatching the entire thing, but I would like to watch some of season 4 and see Robert Downey Jr.'s character, because I had stopped watching by then. I think he plays her therapist. I also would like to see some of Peter McNichol and some of the fish and just some funny things. Maybe even watch the finale from season 5. And I would like to compare and see the first season through season 5 and just how different Ally McBeal or Clarissa Flockhart looks. Because, as I said, there was a lot of talk about just how skinny she was, and not from just a skinny aspect, from a worrying that, does she have some kind of eating disorder? So anyway, Ally McBeal, the pilot, I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. That was from September 8th, 1997. I think it still holds up pretty well today. So I'm looking forward to the next pilot sessions. Thanks for joining us, and try to, if you like this video, like it, subscribe and follow us, and even follow us on Patreon. You can do the intern free, the free tier, and just kind of see what we're up to and what we're trying to build here on Factor Island. Thank you.